Welcome to today's episode of The Growth Zone. I am Christian Bartsch. What is the core benefit of listening to this show? Business leaders in corporate and privately held companies gain insights into trends and strategies that provide them with a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Each episode focuses on areas such as marketing, sales, innovation, or funding that is absolutely critical to the growth of companies, whether they are startups or corporate global players. Where management needs to juggle the challenges of market entries or knowing how to navigate the uncertainty of disruptive developments, mind feeding is where clarity evolves and helps solving organizational challenges. For those who listen to the entire episode, I have a special surprise gift. I'm also working on some great guests that are industry leaders in management, innovation, and marketing. And we will be talking in the future much more about the important trends that are affecting the way we manage our companies in the demand to being sustainable, more environmentally and socially friendly, and becoming more empathic leaders. So, let's get started on today's topic. To outperform our competitors. And by competitors, I'm looking not at the small competitors, I'm looking at the big companies who have like massive amounts of backlinks and pages and have 10 times the budget that you might have, or even 100 times. It doesn't matter. So you've maybe either just started a new business, or you have a website and you've got yourself a new domain, or you notice you need to really improve and have to fix things and so on. So you need long tail keywords. What are long tail keywords? Those are word combinations that help you provide a long text. As an example, if you are selling, let's say, sports courses, you are training people to become pilots or anything. Let's take pilots. Good example. So you could, of course, go and say, well, what's my keyword? Pilot training. Yes, 2 words. That is not a long tail. Yes, it is a keyword combination, but it is not a long tail. Long tail would be, for instance, pilot training Palm Beach, or pilot training Warsaw, pilot training West Virginia. That's a long tail. So it's more than the normal standard keyword. Another example without a location would be pilot training and water landing. Of course, the thing is, that's just an idea. You'd have to go and Google and see what do you call it. Now, of course, there are these planes that can land off the water, so they have floats. So, or for instance, you say bush landing. There are these courses where you can learn how to land in the bush and avoid having an accident. So that would be, for instance, pilot training, bush landing, or pilot training, Cessna Citation X. That's a plane model. Or, for instance, pilot training, summer holidays. Then okay, well, cool. I can go on my summer holidays and do the training whilst the kids are on this beach playing. I can do my pilot training. That's something, of course, that maybe people are looking for. So, of course, you have to search what are people looking for, what are they asking, and that's something you can do, of course, in Google, or you use search engine optimization tools, SEO tools. So what can that be? That can be Systrix, it can be SEMrush, Content King, Ahrefs, all sorts of different kind of tools. There are lots of different things available there. And usually if you are doing that for your business or for your clients, you'll anyway be using at least 2 different kind of tools. Why? Because every tool has different capabilities and different strengths and weaknesses. So not every tool is the same. And I don't mean just simply by the look and the surface and so on. The databases are different. And just because they say we have like 15 million, another one says they have 20 million or 30 million, it doesn't matter. If the database isn't relevant to your location, to your country, and so on, it doesn't help you anyway. It will not pick up what's relevant to you. So if your website is, for instance, focusing on people who want to do holidays in Spain and do their training, you should have some tool that is capable of knowing the addresses or having data from, let's say, countries like Spain. If the people you are wanting to attract, I mean the people who are on holiday, because the thing is, if I want to do such a flight training during my holidays, when do I search for that? I will not be searching once I am in Spain. I will be searching whilst I am at home. So if your audience lives in Germany or in the UK or Sweden or France, then of course I need to go and have a system that has data from that particular country where the people are residing. So if I'm taking a database that has German addresses and German feeds and German detailed data from Google in Germany, then I need a tool that has this. For instance, Systrix is very strong in that area. If I'm looking more for UK data, then I might take maybe SEMrush or Ahrefs. Nevertheless, if I combine one of those two tools with Systrix that has details as well from other European countries, then I have the optimum combination. I don't really need all 3. I could have all 3. That's totally fine as well. And especially if you've got an agency or building an agency, you'll eventually need to have all 3. And you'll have even other stuff like Content King, you will eventually need as well. The key thing is eventually as your agency grows or your internal marketing department grows, you will need more and more tools and more skills and people. Now, hey, so our example of a flight school. So there are different kinds of flight schools as well. The flight schools that just teach you how to fly a plane. Maybe they have gliders, maybe they have small planes like a Cessna C172, a 150 model, or a Piper, a Cirrus, small Ciruses, and so on. That's okay. There are as well training schools that have as well the ability to train you from the very beginning, let's say a Cessna 150, up to a twin engine aircraft. And once you've got all the different kind of exams and certifications and so on, you could theoretically go and apply for a job at an airline and then get your type rating, which means then, let's say, for Boeing 737-800 with Ryanair, or maybe you work for LOT, Polish Airlines, or maybe you go and work for EasyJet, Iberia, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, United, Delta, it doesn't matter. You can do, of course, different things. But as you can imagine, different type of school, different kind of audience. Yeah. So if I just want to have a pilot license for fun, because I love flying, then I don't need to go to a flight school that can take me the whole range to the top. Of course, you might say, well, but what if I do decide in between to say, well, I want to have twin capability, twin engine aircraft? Many schools nowadays have anyway as well twin engine, because people might want to do a instrument rating. They might want to have a complex aircraft rating, and there are different kind of ways to get those pilot ratings and pilot licenses and so on. But from our perspective, if we're looking at Google, we have to as well see, okay, what's relevant to the business? What is the audience? How do we differ from other competitors? So if we're only doing the basic trainings and we don't take people up to the rating trainings, then we have a different audience. Then we maybe have actually people who are doing it for recreation. It doesn't mean that somebody who takes the course at that flight school might not even decide to switch flight school later on and do the top ratings to eventually become a professional pilot. That's all possible. There's nothing against it. But for our current example, we're trying to segment the two different kind of businesses. It's like segmenting somebody who is selling cars and somebody who's selling trucks. Of course, there are companies who sell cars and trucks, but that's something we want to keep put aside because it, of course, adds more complexity we can't just explain here. But nevertheless, so we have this long tail keyword, then we go and try and find what content can we do. What can we create that's relevant to this audience that we are addressing. So let's say we have our example, pilot training, holiday, Spain. Yeah, that would be totally fine. And then we go and try to find, okay, what can we write, what people are looking, and so on, and collect similar keywords. And whether they're short or long tail like that, we first collect these keywords, then find out what people want to know, and then start writing our value content. And this value content shouldn't be spamming keywords, but actually should provide value to the reader. Focus first on the reader. Later on, the search engine will take care of the rest, because the search engines nowadays are no longer stupid and just collect keywords. They understand what you're writing and whether it makes sense or whether you're just producing garbage to cheat the game. So let's have a look at a different idea. Now, let's say you have done all this kind of things, pilot training and this, that, certification, aircraft related, and so on. And you come to a point, I have no ideas what else I could do. So you can, of course, go into Google and search. You can go and use different kind of key suggestion tools and try to find things that are related to it. Example, health tests. So if you want to do a pilot license, you need to have a health test. You have to have certain kind of health so that you are reliable and trustworthy, that you can fly a plane without crashing. So that's something, for instance, that you can go and find out, and what are the different things you can relate, explain, and add all the kind of content for that example. Now, let's have a look at a different kind of business. Let's say you are selling accessories for car repairs. Let's say you have a shop and you're selling parts that people can buy and then fix their own cars. I don't mean a repair shop. I mean simply you're selling parts, car parts. Whether you use new parts or you have a car dump and you restore these parts and so on and recycle and etc. Doesn't matter for us. Now, let's say you have a focus on certain kind of cars. You could say, I'm focused on Teslas, for instance. Then you can go and try to build a website that has long tail keywords that are relevant to Teslas. For instance, replacing the screen or replacing the bumpers, replacing sensors, or adding extras to the car. How do I attach this and this so that I have a screen on the back? Find out. You can as well use Google, use Yahoo, even TikTok to find what's actually maybe relevant for your audience. Do a list of keywords, of ideas. Write them all best into a simple text file. Don't even use Word on that. You can use a text file. You could, of course, go and use Google Sheets, but I would honestly first simply use a text file because that's quick and dirty, and you are not wasting time on all kind of complexity stuff. Just simply pump it in there. And then once you've got it, then go and paste it into other files where you then actually sort it and say, okay, this and these topics belong to this. Because you might come actually with topics that do not belong to repairing a Tesla. You might even go and find ideas of topics, for instance, repairing hybrid cars that have a combustion engine and battery system. Now, Teslas don't have a combustion engine, so that doesn't make any sense in having that. Now, when you have a long tail keyword, you have one big advantage towards a competitor. Let's say you're trying to be visible against a big brand, because, for instance, if you want to rank high with a keyword relating to a Tesla, you will, of course, expect if I enter in Google Tesla, I'll see, of course, first Tesla. And I see, of course, lots of ads and that. But organically, Tesla should be number one. Makes sense from a perspective of Google. Now, if you want to be as well nearby on page 1, then you should maybe go and see that you are relating as well to what people are looking. Because if I want to buy a Tesla, I'm not going to look for your parts. I'm not going to do a buy a kit of parts and build my own Tesla. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to Tesla and order it online. But if I have a part broken and I say, okay, I have no repair shop nearby, but it's a simple thing I can fix myself, then I will go and look. How will I look? I might enter in Google Tesla spare parts, or where can I get Tesla spare parts? Or, for instance, how to fix Tesla bumper. And then, if you've done your homework, your website has all the different kind of articles and contents and schema information. And then, of course, Google will deliver the answer, which is your website. The person visits our website, sees, hey, you know all these things, and then buys from you the product. Maybe they even, if you have a repair shop as well, as a side part of your business, they might even decide to travel even 100 miles, 100 kilometers to your shop and let you do it. Because they think, it's maybe too complicated. I'll rather drive the 100 miles, wait for 2-3 hours and have the problem fixed. And I know I am not wasting my time with things I just can't do myself. And that's the key thing. You can actually cross-sell even with long-tail keywords. And one big thing, because your big competitors don't usually bother with long-tail keywords, and they often play around with branding, their own branding names, as if many people would be looking for them, then they will leave a lot of niche opportunities to you. So look for long-tail keywords. You can use the tools, as I said. You can go as well in Google, go in YouTube, go in LinkedIn and other places. See what's happening, what's coming, what's being shown, and try to figure it out. Collect information, gather the stuff. Even Twitter is a great place to go and find that stuff as well, because there are different kind of groups. And there are many other places where people are discussing stuff, and you can find what people are looking for, what they're asking, what trying to figure out. And then you have the perfect information to build a whole array of content relating to those things that your audience is actually looking for. And that will make you not only have great long tail keywords, but you will be powerful in that niche, Because when people are not satisfied with the most basic keywords, they will continue to look, they'll click on different things that Google will suggest, or even Bing and Yahoo or Yandex, and they will find you. And you are then in the game, ready to rumble. Now let's look at all these things. In the next episodes, I'll be looking at more aspects of search engine optimization, of marketing, of selling, and even generating business, whether you're a small business company, medium-sized company, or even if you're starting a new business, spinning off a company, or even deciding to actually venture out your corporation to a new marketplace. The key thing is, it doesn't matter how big you are, it matters that you do it the right way, and then you can generate sustainable business. And that's one of the key things that matters for any kind of size of business. Sustainability in a way that your profits, your revenue, your effort, your staff, and all these different things all fit together, and you are able to keep your position as you progress. I hope you enjoyed this episode and see you soon. I hope you enjoyed today's edition of the Growth Zone show with Christian Bartsch. Thank you for listening. Please leave a review or rating here on iTunes or on podchaser.com. If you found the content helpful, then share it on social media, please. I would like to invite you to follow our show so that you don't miss the upcoming interviews with leaders in the market. Simply visit the website meetchrisbartsch.com. I will be adding the link into the description of this episode so that you just need to click on that link. On my website, you will also find the links to free templates. If you're looking for the books I have published on marketing, innovative technology, and sustainable business strategies, just simply click on publication to find my book list. The world is constantly changing in response to trends and events. As a business leader, you need to bypass the sandbanks that can hurt your performance. For those of you who are signing up to follow the show, I have reserved a few copies of my ultimate guide on content marketing and an ESG compliant cheat sheet. This is the strategy that got me top corporate clients like McDonald's, Linde, Hewlett-Packard, Deutsche Bank, Volvo, and many others. That strategy has been working for over 10 years and also got me contacts with police, transport authorities, military, and several universities, and even leading research institutes. For sure, it also worked wonders as it got me many small, medium-sized enterprises and international clients around the world. The link to sign up to our free broadcasting service and the guide is at meetchrisbartsch.com. That will give you access to the most recent versions of my ultimate guide on content marketing. You can follow me on Twitter by using the Twitter handle capbartsch. It's spelled CAPBARTSCH. Yes, that is CAP Bartsch, or spelled Charlie Alpha Papa Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel.